Many of you who describe yourselves as highly empathetic people, the deep feelers, the supersensors, the orchids, also seem to be the ones who experience the most harm from a very specific kind of individual. You describe partners who distort reality until you begin doubting your own memories, friends who weaponize your most personal confessions the moment there is conflict, family members who keep pushing you past your limits, and then point at your breakdown as proof that you are the unstable one, and you keep coming back to the same agonizing question. Why do they behave like this? Why do not they care about how deeply they hurt me? We usually describe these people with words like toxic, manipulative, or difficult. But psychology offers a much more precise clinical framework for understanding them. They display what researchers call the dark tetrad of personality traits. Today, we are going to examine what is really happening inside their minds. When you are dealing with a manipulative person, there is a critical mistake you tend to make. You assume they are wired like you. You believe that if you can just explain your pain clearly enough, they will finally understand, feel it, and change their behavior. But research shows their internal wiring is fundamentally different. Psychologists have identified 4 core traits that form this dark personality profile. The first is narcissism. Narcissism is unusual because it often overlaps with high social appeal. These individuals are frequently the most outgoing, confident, and charming person in the room. But that charm is only skin deep. Underneath the polished confidence is a fragile, defensive core. The moment you criticize them, or even stop applauding, the facade collapses, and what emerges is a level of rage that can be genuinely frightening. The second trait is Machiavellianism. These are the calculated planners. While a narcissist reacts impulsively to gain attention, Machiavellian thinker plays the long game. They can wait weeks or months to carry out a plan. They do not see you as a human being with boundaries, but as a chess piece to be moved. If deceiving you helps them win, they will lie without hesitation. For them, morality is simply an obstacle. The third trait is psychopathy. This involves extreme impulsivity and the deep absence of fear or remorse. They lack the internal brakes that normally prevent people from harming others. They engage in risks that would terrify most people because their amygdala does not activate fear in the usual way. They chase stimulation and act on impulse, no matter the damage it causes you. The fourth trait, added more recently by researchers, is everyday sadism. This is the most disturbing of all. It explains behavior that appears pointless, trolling, the small acts of cruelty. For a sadistic individual, your suffering is the reward. Watching you struggle triggers dopamine release in their brain. They hurt you because it feels good to them. This leads to the question everyone asks: are they born this way or shaped this way? One of the hardest truths for empathetic people to accept is that not all of these traits come from trauma. Some are biological. Behavioral genetics and twin studies have shed light on the origins of this darkness. Psychopathy, for example, has a strong genetic basis. Studies suggest that up to 70% of its variation is inherited. Many of these individuals are born with an underactive amygdala. They did not learn to be fearless. They were wired that way. Machiavellianism, by contrast, is often learned. It develops as a survival strategy in cold, chaotic, or unpredictable childhood environments. They learn early that trust is dangerous and manipulation keeps you alive. Together, genetic vulnerability and environmental triggers create a personality structure that is extremely resistant to change. Now we need to understand how the trap works. You may have wondered how they can hurt you so precisely if they lack empathy, and how they can switch from cruelty to charm so seamlessly. It feels like there is a switch, and neuroscience suggests there is. It is called empathy dissociation. Empathy is not a single process. It splits into 2 separate neural systems. Cognitive empathy is the ability to intellectually understand what someone else is feeling. It allows you to read people and predict reactions. Affective empathy is the ability to actually feel those emotions yourself. It is what makes you flinch when someone else is in pain. Most manipulative individuals have very high cognitive empathy. They are experts at reading you. They know exactly how you work. Often, they understand your insecurities better than you do, but they have a severe deficit in affective empathy. They recognize that you are hurting, but they do not feel it. Brain imaging studies show that in people with strong psychopathic traits, the empathy circuits are switched off by default. What is more disturbing is that they can turn them on temporarily when it suits them. During love bombing, they flip the switch. They imitate your emotions. They mirror your inner world. But it is an act. Once we're attached, the switch goes off. They use their emotional insight not to bond with you, but to fine-tune their control. They are not searching for a partner. They are searching for a target. This brings us to a difficult truth. You were not chosen randomly. Predators look for signals. And if you are high in empathy, agreeableness, or sensitivity, you stand out immediately. They look for people who forgive easily, people who try to see the best in others, people who project their own moral compass onto someone abusive. If you are an egoist, someone uncomfortable asserting needs or taking up space, you are the perfect match for them. Your reluctance to demand space gives them all the room they need to inflate their ego. They test you early, a small boundary violation, just to see your response. If you rationalize their behavior or apologize for their wrongdoing, you pass the test and the trap snaps shut. They then rely on intermittent reinforcement, the strongest addiction mechanism known in psychology. If they were cruel all the time, you would leave. So instead, they alternate. A moment of abuse followed by a glimpse of that intense magnetic charm. Your nervous system becomes addicted to the unpredictability. You stay hypervigilant, constantly pulling the lever, hoping to bring back the loving version of them. This forms a trauma bond. It is not love. It is a biological dependency on the source of your pain. Once the bond is in place, the dismantling begins. Gaslighting becomes their main weapon. This is not simple lying. It is perspecticide, the destruction of your sense of reality. They deny events you know happened. They rearrange your memories. They insist you are too sensitive, unstable, or imagining things. Over time, neuroscience shows that chronic emotional abuse causes structural brain changes. The hippocampus, which manages memory and context, shrinks. The amygdala enlarges, trapping you in constant fight or flight. You are left with anxiety, confusion, and mental fog. You literally lose the clarity needed to escape. After hearing all this, you might feel a strange sense of envy. You might think, I wish I could be that cold. I wish I could shut off my emotions and just win. Society often glamorizes these traits. We admire their dominance at work. We see how easily they navigate social situations. It looks like a superpower, a shortcut through life. But there is a hidden cost to that armor. If life is a zero-sum game, they may appear to win. But as a human experience, they are profoundly impaired. Their brain chemistry traps them on what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. They must constantly chase stronger stimulation, more power, risk, conquest. They run faster and faster just to feel anything at all, but they are locked out of the other side of life. They cannot experience the calm, warm, oxytocin-based joy you feel during trust, connection, or a peaceful sunset. They are chemically incapable of peace. They live in an emotional desert. Every relationship is transactional. They never experience real love, because to be loved, you must be known, and they can never allow that. There is a saying in psychology that captures them perfectly. They know the words, but not the music. Do not envy the machine. It moves fast, but it runs on empty. So what do you do with this knowledge? I am explaining all of this so clearly for a reason. You have been trying to solve this with kindness, patience, and communication, but you cannot fix a hardware problem with software. You are seeking connection. They are seeking control. You have been projecting your empathetic heart onto someone who lacks the capacity to receive it. That realization is the first step in breaking the spell. Change how you see them. Do not respond with anger. Anger still binds you. Instead, adopt clinical detachment. When they explode, recognize the narcissistic injury. When they deceive, see the Machiavellian calculation. When they hurt you with a smile, see the sadistic dopamine reward. Understand that their behavior has nothing to do with your worth. It is simply what a system built this way does. You were targeted not because you are weak, but because you are valuable supply. You carry the light they do not have, but that light is yours. This video was only the diagnosis. We had to understand the terrain before planning an escape.